Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Psycho Gold and this is the Psycho Gold videos, of course it is. Now, we are going to be checking out Fire Force Episode 3. Now, for those of you who may not know, Fire Force Episode 3 was supposed to air last week. It didn't because of what happened in Japan. And yeah, I haven't really talked about that, but I think I would like to think that everybody knows what my feelings are on that. It is something that gets me kind of angry, which is why I'm trying not to. But it's not something that you should have to worry about when you go to work in the morning, that the place is going to be burned down. And the reasons why that guy did what he did are so ridiculously petty that I honestly can't come to grips with the fact that he killed 33 people for something so tiny. I'm not saying that there's any good reason that he could have said, but it's just like, what? You know, it's like, you know, to me it's just as daft as if he'd said somebody stole my jar of peanut butter, and I just struggle with it. So, out of respect for what happened over in Japan, these guys decided to not air Fire Force last week, which is completely understandable. I obviously then went away, so I didn't actually... I think we were actually traveling the day that all... Yeah, we were traveling the following morning, and Jade and I were seeing everything that happened on TV and the night before we went to bed, and it was just crazy, man. I don't have any words for that. Anyway, we're gonna try and not think about that as we watch this episode of Fire Force. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh! Okay. The Tokyo Empire. Oh, okay, so Tokyo is where it's set and it's relatively undamaged. Oh, that's that guy, isn't it? He was at the end of the last episode. He set the building on fire and brought it down. They're a different animal than the other companies. Okay. So are they going after them directly? And how did he get all this information that I imagine is not public? Interesting. She has an interesting dress code. What do you think he's looking at? Oh, it's that what? Okay. Why is he there then? Or can anybody come and observe these games, maybe? That's the firehouse that came to his house when he was a kid, right? Oh! Okay, it's not just the firehouse. It's him. Oh, he knows who you are, kid. Oh, what? How did you... What? Your lucky lure always activate. Well, okay. Well, is the way you're dressed because of your quirk? I'm saying quirks because I watch so much My Hero Academia. But you know, your fire abilities. Oh, she's actually... Okay, so she's a rookie too, right? Obviously, not everybody knows who he is. Oh, it's her! Oh, she's the girl from the opening that hasn't arrived yet. Oh! Uh-oh. This ain't a test no more. From a distance, it looks like his eye is synthetic. Or artificial. Why does he know about it? Or does he know anything about it? Or... is it just because he's read his file and he knows that's how to manipulate him? Okay. So is he like, what's the name? He can control the fire, but he can't create it. Oh. He's breakdancing! Whoa, okay. He ain't a normal person. He's definitely got some pyrokineticism in him. Although the way his eye is going purple is very, very terrifying. My god, he thinks he's Gambit. Oh! What the hell? Did that go through? Or was that just a cut? Your younger brother. It's alive! Called it! I said that he was still alive. Someone is hiding something. Oh, who is hiding something? The police captain that recognized you. Uh-oh. Did that ring a bell? Yes, it bloody did. Yeah, that's a good question. How does he know about it? Who is he? Yeah! Way to go for the moral high ground, Shinra. Rider kick! I was gonna say, he's been holding back, man. The amount of power that he's got in him. Yeah, I don't think you stand a chance, Arthur. Sorry. Oh, but you might be a different matter. I don't know what you can do. Whoa! Yeah, I was gonna say, you didn't catch him at all. Joining the Joker! Okay. So is that what he calls himself? Bye. He's such a cool character. Woo-hoo-hoo! She's got a lot of firepower in her. Oh. Oh, okay, well he's made it out. Everybody there looks surprised, except the old guy. Oh! He has similar powers. Okay. I was gonna say dead. So, will the captain of the first actually talk to him now? Or will he try and leave the scene without being spoken to? Okay, so he's not going to push the issue about what happened. He's just going to take the praise. Interesting. That seemed to me like they were sharing some information that only they know. Well, in fairness, he's a captain, so I don't think he'd actually know, in all honesty. He's not high enough up. Oh, okay, so every different firehouse kind of has a different boss. Hajima. Oh, they make all of your equipment. They're the manufacturer. Oh, damn, okay. So now their corporate fathers are coming out of the woodwork. Yeah, of course they would. That makes sense. Oh! What? That surprises me. The Fire Defense Agency. Oh, okay. So they created the 8th for that exact reason, and that's why he's the captain. Oh! Wait, so he's actually actively investigating them. You're the man. Like they said, he's done the right thing regardless of whether he got a medal or a bollocking, basically. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, that was obvious that was going to happen. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was episode 3 of The Fire Force. That episode was really, really nice. We got introduced to the missing member from the intro, and we had quite a lot of revelations, in all honesty. I'm not really sure where to start. I think, to be honest, let's start at the end. The fact that the captain of the 8th has basically created his own company because he doesn't trust the Fire Force as a whole, but the Fire Defense Agency, or Division, whatever you want to call it, whatever they call it rather, they are kind of in the same boat, and they don't actually trust this combined conglomerate unit. And I think that's an interesting development. I honestly thought it was going to be Shinra on his own, having to do things sort of, you know, very, very cautiously. But the fact that actually the 8th, one of its actual objectives is to look into all of the other companies, and he doesn't trust Fire Force either, and he thinks that they're hiding stuff, even though they're all essentially good people that work in the firehouses, and obviously their commitment to defeating Infernals is there, but there's a good chance that there's more going on than they're willing to say. And I think now that we know that the first company is the one that is most heavily influenced by the religious order that seems to be involved, and that is also the same company that dealt with Shinra's incident when he was a child, kind of makes me think that everything that the Joker said a minute ago earlier in the episode has some weight to it, and that there may actually be a lot that needs to be discovered, and that Fire Force is not necessarily all around good guys that they are claiming to be. And of course, that also means that Shinra's brother being alive, I think his name is Sho, that probably is true. I don't know why, I don't know what could have happened there, I don't know exactly everything else, but I think I said in the second episode, even though I must admit I did wonder in the first, but I think I actually said it out loud in the second episode that I don't think his brother's dead, because you know what, I'd love to say it's because I've latched on to some little subtle hint, but in reality it's not that at all. It's just that that's the sort of stupid dramatical twist that storytellers love to do, and I've seen so many anime, tokusatsu, films in the West that love the idea of brother against brother, or a dead relative that's never been dead, and, you know, if Shinra is this powerful with his pyrokinetic abilities, imagine that Sho must be equal, if not greater than. So I can see why somebody would want to have one of them, if not both of them, under their employ or service. So we'll have to wait and see what unfolds with Sho, but I can foresee some kind of storyline, and I couldn't tell you what it's going to be, but Sho and Shinra are probably going to end up in a confrontation at some point. They might not know who each other is, because obviously I can't imagine it's going to be anytime soon. I don't know how long Fire Force is as a manga, but Sho is younger than Shinra, so he'd be a kid stroke teenager, right? Shinra is an older teenager. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember how old he is. Is he like 20 something, like in his early 20s? But not a late teenager. I'm just trying to remember. But anyway, the point is that you've got to make sure that it works with the age balance, because obviously if Sho is like a kid or a young teenager, I don't think that's going to be much of a confrontation. But if he's like 18, 19, and I want to say Shinra is like 24. I don't know why that number is sticking out in my head, but that seems too old. I think he's younger than that. But you know what I'm trying to say. I think they're going to end up revealing that Sho is alive, and whatever the bad guy organization is, or maybe he's actually part of whatever the secret at Fire Force is. Ultimately, I don't actually think that the Infernals are spontaneous human combustion. I think they're very much planned human combustion, and I think that the shady organization that Joker represents knows this, and that's why he's trying to test the waters to see if he can bring Shinra in, and that they are going to appear to be bad guys, and they're probably not going to be the best people they can be, but I bet it's going to be much more morally grey than they're the bad guys, Fire Force is the good guys. I think Fire Force is going to have some dark secrets. Maybe they're actually the ones that create the Infernals to justify their existence and keep everybody in line, and they use that as a way of both making money and ensuring that the population does what they are told when the Fire Force and its interested parties and its investors tells them to do things. But that's just me. I don't know. I could be wrong. But that's kind of the vibe I'm feeling at the moment. And I think the other group that we've seen the Joker in, and I'm calling him Joker, that might not actually be his name, but you know, that's the only name I've got at the moment. I'm not saying that they're like good guys trying to fight them. I think they could potentially be good guys, but they're very heavy-handed good guys if they are. I think it's more likely that they're just an opposing organization that doesn't like the fact that everybody thinks that Fire Force are these quote-unquote good guys, and they want to get the dirt out from under the rug and make everybody see that Fire Force isn't everything that they're trying to portray themselves to be, just so that they can move in and make more money, basically. But I could be wrong. They might actually turn out to be quote-unquote good guys that have a bit more morally justifiable motives, but there's only 3 episodes, so we'll have to wait and see what happens next, I guess. Going back further in the episode, the introduction of was the name Makato? Maki? I don't know where Makato came from. I think it was actually Tamaki. But anyway, the cat lady. I find it interesting that she's actually not part of the 8th. She's from the 1st, which makes me wonder, is she going to transfer? Is she going to be sent there as a plant to keep an eye on the 7th from the 1st? Is she going to be requested by the 8th? I meant the 8th when I said the 7th then. There's a lot that we still need answers to, but her character seems interesting. I don't really understand if she was suggesting that the way her and Shinra kept interacting was something to do with the way her powers work. Like, it's very unlucky for her. But either way, Shinra, man, he keeps lucking himself into some very precarious positions with the female cast. I'm fairly confident he did something similar when he met the other members of the 8th. So, yeah, I think he needs to be careful. He could find himself in some very hot water otherwise. Yeah, I don't know, man. I found it really odd the way she was dressed. And I'm trying to not make this like a political thing, but I don't know. There must be a reason for the way she's dressed. It looked to me like her powers were coming from like skin, as in the way that the flames were coming out. Yeah, it looked like everything that she was doing required her to basically have exposed skin, or some way for the fire to escape her body, which obviously if she was fully dressed would make that rather difficult and set fire to everything. So I'm then guessing that's why she's dressed the way she is. But I hopefully will get some sort of explanation as to what exactly her powers are and how they work in a later episode. She seemed very similar to, I can't think of her name, but the one we already have at the 8th, the witch. You know, when we had that episode where they were like, one's a devil, one's a witch, and one's a knight. It's like, okay, it's an MMO class now, or an RPG class system, but I just found that interesting. Either way, I can't wait for the next episode. There's a lot of questions and a lot of things to think about from episode 3. And the only one that I'm really sticking out with at the moment is all of these overtones of the corporations doing what they want and using the Infernals as like a way of controlling the population. We got to see that the world map has changed drastically. So, yeah, that goes hand in hand with the corporations getting what they want. Or anybody else that is involved in this scheme, for want of a better phrase. So, I think the storyline of Fire Force is definitely going to be one that I'm going to enjoy. And it'll be very, very interesting to see what happens next and how much they're going to deep dive into this sort of conspiracy theory stuff. So I'm looking forward to episode 4, and hopefully I will see you guys there. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, drop some comments, subscribe if you're new around here, all that good YouTube stuff. My name is Psycho Gold, and I will see you in my next video. Psycho Gold, out.